got some coffee. I was going to sit over at my favorite spot over there at the small convenience store, but it's really congested today. Yeah, I don't feel like being congested. So right around the bigger parking lot here. Car there, it's empty. There's a car over there. There's probably somebody in that. There's a van over there muling around. They're probably looking for a spot to park in the shade too. Yeah, maybe they're leaving, I don't know. But I'm just gonna come and sit right here. That's a nice van, camper van. That's kind of like the color I was talking about painting mine, maybe. I'm not sure. See if you can see it. See it off here in the distance going to come by? I mean, that's a way newer van than mine, of course. I mean, that's probably $100 and some $1,000 van. But anyway, that's the color I was thinking about painting this one. And I may not. Yeah, somebody's sitting over there. Oh, nice brisk morning. Found a church sale. We went to a church sale. I had my oldest son with me today. I had to drop him off at the church, another church, our church. And he had to do some work there. But I found a stash of brooches. I'll show you what I got. Real pretty. This one. I had to pay $8 for it, but I still think that's a steal. In fact, I had to pay $8 for this one too. But I think it's a steal. And then I had to pay $8 for this one. And I think it's a steal. Really, they're all beautiful. Unfortunately, they're all unmarked. Because, they're worth a lot less when they're not marked. I mean, a lot less. For instance, I might get 35 or 40 out of this if it was marked, depending on who, but, we could talk about 75 and up if it was marked. I got a pair of Kramer earrings for $3. They're really pretty. Yeah. Now my son got a pair of authentic AirPods, Apple AirPods. I think that's what they're called, the little things you put in your ear. And they're like $250 AirPods, and he got them for $3, and they work. Wow. And they're authentic too. He checked the serial number and all that stuff. And so he said, I guess I got you beat today, Daddy. Like he found the thing that's worth the most. But what he did not know is I got a pair of earrings, these, and they are marked. And they're Thelma Deutsch, something like that. I can't pronounce the last name. But these, somebody's asking $250 for these. I paid $4 for these earrings. So that was my buy of the day. I think that's all. Oh, I got one other thing. And I forgot who made this. It's something like Chagman. It's some lady's name, like Chagman or something. Here's her last name. And it's probably not exactly what it is. Something, maybe Ruby. I thought I had anyway, I can't read it, but anyway. I had to pay $7 for that, but it's just an odd necklace. And I'm thinking it could sell for $49 to $75 maybe. Depends on how it cleans up and what it looks like when I clean it. But I'm very happy. I spent 24, 28, 29, 30, 35, 36, 30. I spent $38, about $40 with tax. And I'll probably turn it into about $400 maybe. So I'm thinking that was a pretty good day. And the day's going to get even better because I have hot coffee. I got some coffee. And I have probably several hours till I have to pick him up. And I have nothing else to do. Literally nothing else to do. So, ooh, yeah, very hot, very, very, very hot. Oh, I gotta tell you this. This is so ridiculous. We were all sitting around last night, and I don't know how this came up. I think my 16-year-old, he likes to pick on his mother, and in a playful way. I mean, it's friendly both ways. And she said, that reminds me of the time. Okay, and here's the time. When he was 7 and my youngest son was 3, we went and we had a house down in Florida, and we went and sold the house. Well, while I was down there, I don't get down there that often, but my ex-brother-in-law, which I love this guy. He's a great guy. And to me, he's basically like a brother. I hadn't seen him in a number of years. It had been, well, he had never met my son. And my son at the time was 7. But it had been about maybe 9 years since I saw my ex-brother-in-law. So I let him know we were coming down there. He invited us to his house. And he had recently lost his wife. His wife had passed away. So he was living alone in the house. So me, my wife, my 2 sons, and him were in the living room talking. And, he wanted to be nice to us, my ex-brother-in-law. And he wanted to know that anytime we want to come and stay at his house, we could. There's a spare bedroom. And my wife and I, and he was being very nice. He's like, you and your wife can stay in the extra room. And I have a camper out back, and your 2 boys could stay in there. Now, he was trying to be nice. Like, that would be an adventure, for most boys. Like, oh, wow, we get to stay in a camper in the back, away from mommy and daddy. I mean, that would be like a really positive thing to most boys, but not my 7-year-old. Apparently, he got offended. And I haven't seen my brother-in-law in like 8 years. But this is what he said to my brother-in-law, my 7-year-old. He said, oh, yeah? And he had an attitude. He said, oh, yeah? He said, well, I'll lock you in that camper and roll you down the mountain. I was like, I could not believe he said that. And the way he said it, he's like, oh, yeah? Well, I'll lock you in that camper and roll you down the mountain. And my ex-brother-in-law, he was like, you could just see it on his face. He's like, oh, but that's not very nice. And that's all he said. Oh my gosh. Ew. I mean, we laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed at that last night. So ludicrous for him just to say that, because see, my brother-in-law was just trying to be nice. Like, it'll be an adventure. You 2 boys can stay in the camper. Well, my son felt like, no, I'm not staying back there without mommy and daddy. Are you crazy? I'll lock you in it and roll you down the mountain. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was just one of those things that kids say that, I mean, wow. But anyway, we laughed and laughed about that. And I haven't seen him since. I haven't seen my ex-brother-in-law in 9 years. It's been about 9 years now. He's remarried. And actually, he moved up to Georgia, so he's actually closer to us now. I think he's only 3 or 4 hours away. It's just one of those things. I have an extremely busy life. We don't really go down that way that much. But yeah. Anyway, I wanted to crawl under the couch at his house that night when my 7-year-old said that. Things kids say. I mean, I could tell you a lot more that both my kids said. No. I mean, I know I've probably told you some of the things that they said in the past videos, but like, okay, I'm gonna tell you one on my youngest son. I have to tell you this. I was at my favorite thrift shop. My wife was somewhere in there, and so was my older boy, who was not. I forgot how old he was, because my youngest son was only probably 3, maybe. And I think my oldest son actually was with me, standing behind me, because we were at the counter, and there were people around. And my youngest son came running up to me, and he had his pants and underwear pulled down to his ankles, and he yelled really loud, "Daddy, I got a poo!" I couldn't believe it. Everybody was looking, and they were like, smiling. Some of them were like snickering, laughing, and it was so embarrassing, man. So I told one on my oldest son, and I told one on my youngest son. So now it's kind of even. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and drink coffee. I'll probably hit some thrift shops today. I'm not sure. Probably should, because I have some time, that's for sure. There goes an old truck. It looks a lot like a truck I used to have. I mean, I used to have an old Ford long bed pickup truck that was primer. It was just primer. It looked a lot like it. I really liked that truck. It had a granny shift, like a 3-speed on the floor. And man, I'd shift that thing. It was really loud. Had really wide mud tires, and it was high off the ground. It was very redneckish. So, okay, I'm going to go, I think. I just really wanted to get on here and say hi and convey, mainly what was said last night, that memory of what he had said down there with my brother-in-law, and then everything else just kind of evolved around it. But I'm going to go. Thanks for joining me, guys. If you hadn't subscribed yet, please do. Leave a comment, like, dislike, whatever, and I appreciate you. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to cover today. God bless you guys. Love you. God loves you. Read the 91st Psalm, the Psalm of protection. God will protect you. He'll send his angels to protect you. Claim that protection. It's yours for the claiming. Okay, see you later, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, a little bit of an update. I said I was going to go to some thrift shops. I went to a couple. Didn't find anything really in the first one. The second one I came to, I found some really cool old cars, slut cars. They're only $2.50 each. And they have kind of like brass bottoms. They have the motor exposed. They look like they're probably I don't know, maybe from the 60s. Definitely the 70s, but maybe the 60s. This one, it looked like it's fully intact. This one's missing the undercarriage, whatever you want to call it, right here. But $2.50 each. I was thinking, I know they're worth a lot more than that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, at least $20 to $30 each. But anyway, it's a shame this one's missing that piece right here. But somebody will buy it. Oh, this one must be missing the screws that holds it together. Oh yeah, there's 2 screws missing right there. But anyway, that's really cool. Very, very cool. How this thing goes. I guess it goes like that. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, I just wanted to update you. All right. Thanks a lot for staying tuned for this little update. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. God loves you. Have a really good day.